On Limbaugh Show, brought to you by Lori Darlings in Fayetteville and Childersburg. And Coach Limbaugh joins us this morning. And Coach, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy.
It is a beautiful ride into the city this morning.
Absolutely. Gorgeous morning.
Oh, yeah. Friday night started out rainy and then kind of tapered off a little bit, but you guys got behind early on this miscue on the special teams.
Well, you know, special teams has been great all year. We were very fortunate. Coach Matthew Moore has been doing a great job with our special teams, but every now and then you'll have a falter, and you don't ever want one, but we had a punt get blocked, and they scooped and scored for a touchdown right out the gate. So that kind of, like you said earlier, during the break, puts you behind the 8 ball and kind of gets you started off in the wrong way there. But I thought our kids played hard last Friday night, and I appreciate that very much out of them.
What do you take out of the game, 30-7 loss to BB Coleman, a region game that really puts you in a position where you're really not going to the playoffs, but your team plays hard. They scored very late in the game, and it just shows the grit of this football team.
Absolutely. Well, you know, mathematically we're still in.
Yeah, and that's what coaches look at, right?
Absolutely, you know, and all it takes is Vincent lose a ball game or two, and we're back in the thick of things, and we just got to win tonight against Lafayette, and we got to win next week against Rambert, and we'd like to win that Childersburg game as well and finish up the year strong. Finish up 5-5, win our last 3, it'd be great, and maybe go to the playoffs. But what we take out of the game the other night is I've got to do a better job, and it's my responsibility. When you get within when you get past the 20-yard line, you're supposed to score. And we didn't score. We got down there 3 times, couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And that's my responsibility, so I've got to do a better job of coaching our kids and getting them across that goal line. So.
You get in the red zone, you know, the percentages are pretty high that you'll get some points out of it, but it just didn't work the other night. Why?
Well, we could have kicked a couple of field goals, but that wasn't what I was looking for.
Yeah.
We had a couple of miscues on some things, and we got to rep some things more in practice, rep some things more, and you know, I think the ball being wet messed us up on one fake field goal that we ran. It was open, it was there, and I think a wet ball just kind of messed us up there. But really, our kids did a good job. They worked hard, and I don't ever have to worry about that out of our kids. They're going to get out there and they're going to work, and they're going to do the job they've been called on to do, and we just got to do a better job of coaching them is all it is. It's our responsibility.
You tried to throw the football quite a bit the other night.
Oh, we had to, really. They were doing a great job stopping our run. So we had to throw the football a little bit more, and we got quite a few yards throwing the football. We did quite well. Zeke DeLoach had 100 yards receiving, and he did a good job, and Pacey did a good job throwing it. But again, I thought we did quite well being as wet as it was throwing the football. But we've got to do a better job establishing the run. That's what hurt us a little bit. You know, we've been averaging 4 and 5 yards a run several games, and then last Friday we had 1.5 yards per carry. You can't win like that.
Defensively, pretty good defensive effort by the Fayetteville Wolves.
Yeah, we just didn't tackle as well as we have before. We was in position, we were in place, doing some things that were correct. And I thought our defense looked good. Coach Reed had them well prepared. It's just that we didn't tackle like we're supposed to, and you still got to block to be able to establish a run game. You still got to tackle to have a great defensive night. So we had to work on those 2 things this past week, and we did.
And BB Coleman's got some athletes. They got a couple of guys that are hard to get on the ground.
Well, they're a good team, and Sylacauga has got 2 teams that's going to win at least 8 ball games apiece this year, and that says a lot for this community and for these 2 programs here in town. But yeah, Coach Foster's got those guys rolling at Coleman, and I look for them to win a ball game tonight over Vincent.
Whether it's injuries or COVID positive tests, it can take a toll on a team, can it?
Yeah, it can. We've had our injuries. You know, there are no excuses. It's next man up. We got to get a job done. But we had 7 starters out last week.
Only 7, right?
So you know that's and you can see how it affects those teams in the SEC when they're out some players and so forth like that. But we were out some, and we've got some out for the year with injuries. I've got one out with a knee, South Limbaugh, who's doing a good job for us. and got a couple more out with injuries and one out with a concussion that should be back next week. So these things take their toll. These things just take their toll.
And not only physically, but emotionally, it can take a toll on a team.
Well, sure. Well, when the kids get used to a player being there and being a good support and being a good player for us, and then he's not there, it leaves a void. So, that's easily recognizable.
Yeah. On the road to Lafayette tonight.
That's right.
You know, nice road trip, and Lafayette's a team that's a formidable foe for Fayetteville.
Well, they've won their last 2 games. They beat Rambert and Horseshoe Bend, and Coach Warren Williams will have those guys ready. It's a home game for them. And they've got athletes as well. We just got to get in there and do our job, and a run control ball game, control that clock. We've got to keep that ball on the ground, control that clock, and move the football. If we move the football, we'll be okay. We got to move the football, and our kids are going to go, and they're excited about it, and we're going to play hard tonight.
How coachable is this Fayetteville team?
Extremely. You know, I've often said that we're, in many ways, kind of like the Vanderbilt days. You see, we've got very highly intelligent kids. Our kids make good grades. We're leading the county as far as grades and things like that at our school. Our teachers there are awesome. Our principals are phenomenal, and we're doing great things there. And our kids are coachable in that respect. I could tell them something once, and they're going to go do it or try their best to get it done. And that's why I would never leave Fayetteville for anywhere. I love that place and love those kids and those fans, and it's a great place to be.
The JV County Championship is going to be down in Fayetteville next week.
It is, absolutely. It's going to be between us and Comer and our kids. And Coach John Thad Rogers has done a great job, and we'll appreciate him and Coach R.B. Hammond so much. He's a volunteer coach for us and doing a great job.
You keep up with that?
I mean, absolutely. I'm there at every ball game.
Yeah.
Love those kids, and that's our future.
Yeah.
You know, you got to keep up with it if you can. And so these kids have not lost the ball game, and they'll play Tuesday night at Farm Links Field, 6 o'clock for the county JV championship.
And that'll be some of the kids that are the future for Fayetteville and B.B. Comer. So you can get an opportunity to take that game in for sure Tuesday night down at Farm Links Field. All right, getting back to Lafayette as we go this morning, you talked about your running game. You got to get that jump started again.
Right.
What concerns you about this Lafayette team, winners of the last 2 in a row?
They got a couple of good athletes. Number 8 is going to catch that ball for them. He can go up and catch the ball. And their quarterback's a very elusive, very mobile quarterback. They're going to be in a 3-man front if we're spread out. But if we're trying to run that football, they're going to get in that 4-man front. They're going to put a lot of folks in the box. And that's always a concern. So we just got to be able to get on our blocks and do our job, fire off the ball. It'll be a good night for Fayetteville if we get it done.
You got to have special teams, a good special team tonight.
Well,
too,
like I said, we could have kicked a couple field goals last week. That wasn't going to win the game for us. We could have put more points on the board. We could have made it a double-digit loss, but what is that? It's still a loss. Yeah. We wanted to score touchdowns, but we can't always have a lot of faith and confidence in our kicker. You know, Levi does a great job, Levi Phillips, and if we get close, he can kick the thing in. Not worried about that. You know, he's a good one.
All right, Fayetteville and Lafayette at Lafayette tonight. Kick at 7 o'clock. Coach John Limbaugh show brought to you by Lori Darlings in Fayetteville and in Childersburg. Coach, have a great weekend.
Thank you too, bro.
More Day Break coming up right after this.